Good morning and welcome back to the Bluayado channel. It's Good Friday. This is the holiday day that I completely forgot about. I completely forgot about Easter because I'm older and it's no kids that really care about Easter around me. All the kids that's around me now are really little, months old, so Easter completely passed me by. So today is Good Friday. Also, it's payday, mid payday, because some of the groups of securities paid on Thursday before the holiday, and some of them are going to pay on Monday. So this is the in between day, and the market is closed. So it's nothing to look for in the market. Um, but the market did go back up a little bit. I did see my account went up a couple of thousand, which is good for me because it was hovering around going under 115,000, which is not good for me because my account is worth 140. So I'm down like $25,000 at this point with whatever the government is doing, which is upsetting me, which is also adjusting my margin. Not enough for me to get a margin call because obviously I wouldn't spend that much in margin, but it's just adjusting my margin down so I have less available to do anything because of the market. So I didn't buy that much this week. I did just buy some weekly stuff, but not that much. So let's start off with the weekly payers from Roundhill. So again, everything was announced early. They announced this yesterday, Thursday, instead of Friday because of the holiday. So you would have had to buy these on Thursday, not today, because the market is closed for Good Friday. And it's still gonna pay on Tuesday. So it's still gonna pay on the 22nd, but they announced it on Thursday. So you would have had to buy this on the 17th, last day of the market on the short week, because today is Friday and the market is closed for Good Friday. So let's start with the first one. MVW, underlying security is NVIDIA, and it's paying 0.508408 per share. This is an excellent payment. I was trying to up my weeklies, but I think I might have to up it some more because these weeklies are doing really well. They're doing just as much as almost as the monthlies, and they're paying every week. So looking pretty good. TSW, underlying security is Tesla. It's paying 0.473831 per share, and the monthly payer for Yieldmax only pays 60 something cents. So you're getting 47 cents per week instead of what's going on with Yield Max there for just 60 something cents waiting for 4 weeks. So 47 cents for 1 week here. Coverage on Tesla. AAPW, underlying security is Apple. 0.385534 per share. This whole everything looks great. This is great. Anybody who bought these are doing very well. I'm excited. So yeah, COIW, underlying security is Coinbase. It's paying 0.431354 for the week. Again, very good payment. Last one up is PLTW. Underlying security is Planeteer. And that's 0.468712 per share here. And next week, we're going to find out what Playday pays. We'll see what that is. Obviously, this is no comparison to what Playday pays. Playday pays like $5, and this, even if you get this every week, is still nowhere near $5. So again, you decide which one you want to buy. Again, it's not. It's like a $20 difference. Was this like $30, and Playday is like $50. So we'll look at those afterwards. You know what? Let me look at it now since it's on my mind because normally I forget later. So Playday is how much? Playday is $59. People probably gearing up for next week. This is going to tell you what it pays on Wednesday. So $59, and historically dividend paying wise, it's pretty awesome. It's not on here. Wow. Anyway, it's pretty awesome. I showed to you my own stuff. But next up is PLTW, and that is only $32. So yeah, about more than, it's like a 20 something dollar difference here. But let's go to the payments. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. What's this? The third week. Third week. All right. The third week announcements were made on 15th this week because they had the holiday. 15th and the 16th. And the payment is going to be on somewhere the 17th, and some is going to be on the 21st. So there you go. Uh-huh. And let's start off with Yield Max Group A. So that's Tesla. I only have 200 now, and it pays 65 cents. And you saw that for the weekly, it paid 40 something cents. So waited a whole 4 weeks to get 65 cents here. 0.6598 paid out 131 spot 96. Ybit 200 shares at 41 cents gave me $82.20. I sold out of OARC, so I don't have any more of this anymore. Snowy 20 shares at 68 cents. That's $102.96. Feet 10 shares at $1.64. 16.44. 5E 10 shares at $1.02. $10.28. YMAX 150 shares at 13 cents. That's $20.01. LFGY 30 shares at 43 cents. That's $12.92. GPTY 10 shares at 25 cents. That's $2.55. SDTY 15 shares at 30 cents. $4.63. QDTY 10 shares at 33 cents. $3.32. OT 100 shares at 8 cents is $8.52. And then the weeklies from last week, these paid on Tuesday. TSW 50 shares at 29 cents is $14.91. MVW 50 shares at 15 cents is $7.76. These numbers were a lot worse than they are this week. So thank goodness for this week that's coming up. All right. PLTW 100 shares at 23 cents. That's 23.44. I'm going to try to get all of these up to 100 at least. At least these two back up to 100. That'd be really good. It's gonna cost a lot though, so I still try to get it now when the price is down. So I'll be working on that. Next up, PLTW 100 shares at 23 cents. That's $23.44. COIW 100 shares at 29 cents. That's 29.50. AAPW 15 shares at 10 cents. That's $1.53. Roundhill weekly indexes here. QDCE 50 shares at 20 cents is $10.47. RDTE 50 shares at 23 cents. That's $11.80. YBTC 50 shares at 44 cents. This was a pretty good payment. That's $22.16. And Defiance IWMY 60 shares. I did buy more of this. This is what I bought this week. I bought these two. I bought more of these two. Where am I? Down here. Yeah, this is what I got on. I bought these before. When did I buy this? I did not buy it on Wednesday because I was I still good on Wednesday? I think I was still good on Wednesday for this one. Roundhill's the one that speeded it up. So yeah, I got these on Wednesday. I couldn't buy anything in Roundhill because they advised the day earlier because of the holiday. But Defiance and Yield Max stayed on the same date. They're just gonna pay on Monday instead of Friday today because it's a holiday. So yeah, I bought these on Wednesday, 10 of each. So I got more Defiance. So I brought these up to 60 and 60. So 60 shares at 33 cents, and that is $19.85. And QQQY 60 shares at 29 cents. That's 17.92. Curve, these paid on Thursday as well. AAPY 10 shares at 25 cents. That's $2.50. And GOOP 10 shares at 35 cents. That's $3.50. So altogether, this week is not so great. This is not a good week for me because you could tell I don't hold that many stuff. I don't have like in the thousands of anything like I do for Group D here. I got 1,060, so it should pay something. I don't really hold that much of anything for this third week, so you can't expect it to pay that much. So at the end, I only made $561.12 this week, the third week of April. I took out $112.22 for taxes going to a high yield saving account. And I'm left with $452.39. I took out $400 and put in my check in, and I left $52.39 to reinvest. So altogether, so far, I made $3,348.21 on the third week so far, April. I sent $2,350 to my checking account for living expenses. I reinvested $332.07, and I sent $669.64 to a high yield savings account for taxes for 2026. And I don't know what my margin debit yet is. They don't tell me until the end of the month for using margin and taking the benefits of dividends without paying for them in advance. Hopefully, with this market the way it is, you don't get a margin call. So you should always have whatever you spend in margin available to send to your account so you don't get a margin call, because if you get a margin call, they'll start selling off your securities. So I do have this money, whatever I spend in margin, sitting in my checking account. I didn't even, I took it out of savings. I put it in my checking because the market is very volatile right now. So I do have whatever I spent in margin in my checking account, which is 1 day transfer. I can transfer it on the spot if I ever have a situation where the market drops, which you don't know, it could happen. When the market drops so much that you are potentially getting a margin call. So I would never do, my account could do 75,000 margin, but I'm never doing over, I probably never do over 30,000. I don't have 30,000, more than 30,000 in my checking account to move over, so I'll probably never use more than 30,000 at one point in time as margin, as a margin. So that's just me. Some people, play it a little bit more risky, but like I said, with this kind of market we have right now, which you could at any day possibly get a margin call, I won't do it personally myself. I do use it. I mean, you got to use it with a head of look at the market. You could potentially get a margin call, and then what do you do when you get it? Like, do you want them to sell off your securities? Probably not, because that's the real loss. That's when you really have the loss in your account. and no recovery. These things are still paying. I am still getting paid every week. I do not want my account to be sold off for a margin call. So again, don't use a margin if you don't have the money to cover it. Some people have hundreds of thousands in margin because they do basically give you a margin like half of what your account is. Like if your account is worth 250, they'll give you 125,000 in margin. So, and also depend on what securities you got. If you got some pretty stable securities, like the old school one, like Philip Morris and Clorox, and a lot of those J.P. Morgan and those kind of things in your account, you probably get even more of a margin because they want those securities. They're like hoping that you default on these things. So don't do it, don't do it, and don't do it. That's not how you use a margin account because you can get yourself in trouble, especially with this volatile market we have right now. But let's look at the numbers. So I have, obviously, you see from the beginning of the year, December, I have increased my weekly coverage. Before I used to only have six, and then the next month I increased some more, and now I'm really heavy in weeklies, so even heavier now. So I got weekly from Yield Max, I got weekly from Defiance, I got weekly from Roundhill in two different categories. So I'm really heavy on weeklies now. That's my focus. So that's where I'm going. So that if you guys want to know where my mind frame is, I am going more to weeklies now. I still have the golden ones in Yield Max because Yield Max is has changed my life. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This 100% and over 50% distribution rates has totally changed my mind on what the possibilities of dividend payments can do. So I just used to have a mindset of, oh my god, I made to 15% before. I mean, a 15% distribution rate. And I thought that was fantastic. That's old school though. You can get 100 now. Look at these payments. At one point per share, I got 1,000 shares of Misty. Per share, I got $3.08. Do you know what that means? That's $3,000. That's one security. That's $3,000 for the month. It has gone down recently, but before that, it used to be $4. I had $4 per share for Misty. $4.49, $4.42. Misty is the best thing that ever happened to me in the dividend payment is what I'm saying right now. So for what paid this month, Tesla is finally going back up. So 46 cents last month and now it's 66 cents. Snowy is going, this is pretty all over the place though. Snowflake, I don't, that underlying security is pretty all over the place. So 69 cents, I guess, is a good payment because it's all over the place. You can't really tell with that one. 5E is going back up. Last month was pretty disappointing. It was only 71 cents and now it's back up to 103 feet. It went down, but yeah, again, last month was pretty disappointing and it's going back up now 164. So that's good for that one. What else paid? Ybit has been going down. Again, it's linked to Bitcoin, and we know how volatile that security is right now. BTC is all over the place. So 41 cents is continuing the downward spiral here. GOP, which is Curves, Google security, is going down 40 cents, 40 cents, 35 cents. AAPY 30 cents, 30 cents, and now 25 cents. So APY is going down too for Curve, and that's what paid this week. And then on the weeklies, let's see, the weekly pays has gone down. This week was not particularly good, but we have seen in the first thing I showed you this week that it's going to go up next week. So for the final round out. The fourth. Is it 417? Let's just put the 18th here. I mean, no, I know it didn't pay, but I'm just putting it in between date because it's the 18th and the 21st. I mean, it's the 17th and 21st, so I'm just putting the 18th here. OT went up a little bit. This is down. This is up. This is down. Down, down. BTC, why BTC is up. RDTY, that's down, down. QQY, that's up. 33 is up. Oh, so QDT and IW. Oh, so these paid pretty close. Not too shabby. 31. All right, so yeah, it's looking all right. Um, so yeah, that's the payday. Again, happy Easter, guys. Whoever celebrates that. Good Friday. I think it's some other holidays in between there. There's a lot of stuff going on this religious weekend. So have a good time. See you guys next week. It's gonna be a full week next week. It's not a short week. And I see you on Wednesday. I suppose we don't have any more holidays because I was totally unprepared for the holiday this week. I did not know it was gonna be a day early. That's my fault though. I wasn't paying attention. Because again, I'm home, so holidays don't really matter to me. That's what happens when you work from, you're not working anymore. You're living off of dividends. So I didn't really pay attention to holidays. So anyway, see you guys on Wednesday for declaration date. This is Bluayado channel. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. See you next time.